Missouri's gun season opens up in 2 weeks, and for a lot of hunters, that's the only time they get out and hunt. It is open for 10 days, so that means you've got a relatively short window to fill that tag if all you do is hunt during rifle season. And given that the rut tends to fall around rifle season, it may feel like your chances are pretty random. You have to make the most of every opportunity when your time is limited. So that's why in this video we're going to go over 3 tips for hunting during rifle season. But before we get into the tips, if this is your first time on my channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell icon so you can be notified every time I upload a video. Also, if you'd like to help support the channel, there is a link below for you to check out some shirts. Even if you don't want to buy a shirt, hit that link anyway. Let me know what you think. It's my first time trying to design any kind of t-shirts or any merch for that matter. So let me know what you think, because if you don't like them, I will do my best to change them up and try to create something that you will like. And the first tip to rifle season is you got to look for that thick cover. Rifle season is pretty much the only time I will dive into these extremely thick areas. Usually these areas are so thick that getting a tree stand in there, I mean, you probably wouldn't be able to see 10 yards in front of you, let alone get a shot. But if you sit on the ground, a lot of times you can get a good view down there at the deer's level. Plus, all these deer are going to head for these secluded thickets once those gunshots start ringing out come opening morning. If you don't want to sit on the ground, or you can't find a good spot where you can see a reasonable distance for a shot, try to look for an area that is in between 2 pockets of thick cover. A lot of times bucks will be going from one secluded cover to the other as they're checking for does. And the second tip to hunting during rifle season is you need to be hunting during the middle of the day. Die-hard hunters will say that you absolutely need to be sitting from sunup to sundown. While that's definitely not a bad strategy, not everybody can pull that off. So if you can't sit all day or don't want to sit all day, make it a point to at least be sitting between 10 and noon. This is when those secluded thickets that we talked about just a little bit ago are going to be the best places to be. A buck has probably been, during the rut, he'll be out running around searching for hot does all night long. Come sun up, he's going to want that thick cover to lay up in, kind of regain some energy. About lunchtime, he'll get up, stretch his legs, browse, or he'll just start searching for does again. You don't necessarily need to sit in the same spot all day long either. You may only be able to sit a few hours before your back starts hurting too much, or you just get bored. The point is you need to try to be in the woods at least until after noon, after lunch. If you have to, get up, do some still hunting, but just be out there. If you hunt on public ground or you hunt on private land where there's a lot of hunting pressure, you got other people hunting that property, 10 o'clock is about the time that a lot of hunters just give up and head back to the house. This is when you have a good chance that they will bump something to you, so just stay a while longer. And just real quick, just to make myself feel better, so that I can say I at least attempted to put a reminder out there about safety, always make sure that you're wearing your orange, that's your hat and your vest, especially if you're going to get up and move. Even if you're on private property and you're supposed to be the only person there, you just never know when some jackass is where he's not supposed to be and just pops a shot off at any movement he sees. And just to point out how stupid some people can be, when I went through the hunter safety course, the conservation agent told a story about a guy that thought he would play a trick on his buddy while they were bow hunting. He decided he would get down and pretend to be a turkey and waddle in front of this guy's tree stand. And the dude got shot and obviously died. So in my mind, I can't imagine how somebody would mistake a person pretending to be a turkey for a real turkey. But I don't know. People do dumb things. People get excited, or they get, I don't know, they just haven't seen anything in a long time and they just get desperate to shoot something, and then they make a mistake like that. So just don't do anything stupid, and just make sure you're wearing your orange so everybody knows exactly what you are. And the third tip to hunting during rifle season is to get a little vocal. Like I said in the beginning, the rifle season typically falls around the rut. It's kind of different for every region, but it falls pretty close. I don't know of a hunter out there who doesn't dream of rattling in a nice buck, and the rut is your best chance to do that. But that doesn't mean you need to be slamming your antlers together and making as much noise as possible. Not only are you going to probably smash your fingers up, you are going to scare off any buck in the area. You want to rattle lightly. You're trying to make it seem like 2 smaller bucks are over somewhere sparring over a doe. That way a much bigger buck is going to come chase those guys off and take that doe. Rattle once every half hour or every 45 minutes, something like that, and throw in a little grunt here and there to make it a little more realistic. Less is more with calling, so try not to do it too much. So that was 3 tips to hunting during rifle season. If you have any more tips, make sure you leave those down in the comments below. Hit that like button if you like this video, share it if you found it helpful, check out those shirts at the link below, let me know what you think, and make sure that you are subscribed so you can stay informed.